Hello and welcome to The Hero Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous male left behind and forward-moving spouse with a bomb drop of December 4th, 2025, and a date of marriage of 2021. His wife is a vanisher and a low-energy wallower. He says, my wife left on December 4th, 2025, and she filed for divorce on December 23rd. We have a Louisiana Covenant marriage, which makes it harder for her to get a divorce. Our court date is March 2nd. By law, the judge doesn't have any reason to grant the divorce or separation, and most likely court orders marriage counseling. Do you think counseling will be effective? So first, there is more. I have gone to the forum or to the Facebook page and read the posts there. So the information given here is not sufficient enough. And if I were to just give an answer on, well, in a midlife crisis situation, I would say no. But then I would also add, I still don't have enough information about this. But if this is a midlife crisis situation, counseling would not be effective in that. But I still can't tell you what's going on with the information given. And all I can say is it's a very short marriage, but I just don't know. So I'm going to pull a little bit of your information in for background. And the first thing, what you have been told or advice given in your thread, I agree with. This is not a midlife crisis situation, and I think you're probably aware of that as well. So there are additional circumstances. First thing, I'm very sorry for your loss and your daughter's loss. The unfortunate death of her mother, of your ex-wife, last year has to be especially hard on her for a young teenager. So daughter brought into your household with your relatively new wife of a few years. So that is challenging. So a young lady going through grief at losing her mother. And your wife, you say, having some borderline obsessive compulsive issues. And then just hitting some issues in October, it sort of coming to a head a little bit. And then the day before bomb drop, maybe some sort of issue coming up. You not realizing it and her having a full breakdown. You didn't know it. And her being hospitalized. Okay. Disappearing. You had to be told that she was. So will counseling help? What it's going to come down to is what kind of counseling first. She needs to have counseling first that is going to help her. Let's focus on her for her, and you're going to focus on you and your daughter and just being supportive of her. In other words, allowing her the space to help herself while you take that space that you have been given her, and you're then giving yourself space to be with your daughter and help your daughter and grow that bond with her even more. I mean, it looks to me like you have a beautiful bond with her already, and just be there for her and work on your healing together. Okay. And this is a beautiful gift that you also give to your wife, is this gift of spaces. I'm going to allow you the space to heal in the way you need. And I will give you the resources that you need if that's what you need from me. If you need me to provide resources, what do you need from me without me smothering you? And what does your faith say about this? How are you going to bring your faith into this? As ministers, how does this come into your faith? How are you going to bring in the grace and the empathy for each other and the acceptance of what is happening? Because acceptance of what is happening is going to be paramount to this. I can't tell you what is going to come through and how she will come through. I can tell you that acceptance is really important. And acceptance, part of that is going to be an empathetic understanding rather than a resistance to it. If you resist it and you try and come above it and show how she might be wrong, or you're supposed to do this, or hey, we have the covenant marriage and you can't do this way, and criticize, then it's just going to make it worse for you or for the situation. Instead, you come at it from a loving way of, I'm so sorry that we are working through it this way. What can we do? How can we work through things? What do you need? Rather than, why are you doing this to me? And notice that why are you? Avoid why questions anyways. Why questions feel interrogative. And they feel like we're being judged. Anything that she feels judged, she'll shut down. And we don't want her to shut down, do we? She's already been shutting down. And on her end of this, we're not looking at your marriage right now. We're looking at, she had a psychological breakdown, is what it sounds like from what you said. And so for her portion of the healing, we have to focus on her being healed, her getting better. And we're not looking at this in the midlife crisis. MLCers are narcissists and they're selfish and they don't care about other people and all of that, blah, blah, blah. We're looking at this as she really does need to have that time to focus on her healing in a clinical, medical way with love, and put the energy into it because something broke. And she recognized somewhat, or somebody did, she needed to be hospitalized for it. And she needs to have love given into that. And be grateful, the gratitude for the love that was given into that. Gratitude for, thank goodness that she or someone recognized this and she got that help, and that she is getting that help. And grateful that she has hopefully a community that will be accepting of her continuing to get that help, because that's going to be so important for her to have that community. Now, they may not know the specifics, but just to know that you are loved and that you are accepted goes so far. Instead of to think that I am judged and I am broken and you have to be something different and you have to measure up, that is going to be where you continue to be broken and continue to resist and continue to run away. Instead of a helping hand and a loving hand and an open hand. So reach into your minister's bag. And what did Jesus teach you? What did Jesus teach us about that? How did Jesus not only preach, but teach? And how did he minister? Because that's where we are at now, not just the preaching and teaching, but we're at the ministering, the tending to. When he gave care, when he cured, when he laid his hands on. That's where we see the compassion that came from him, that the energy would go out of him, okay? And that's what is being called for, this love and acceptance. And that's what we give. So think about what you know and what is in your faith and what is in her faith, and what you can call from your faith. Okay? And think also about where she is in her journey. And is what you want to say to her what she needs to hear? Because sometimes she's like, okay, you know what? I don't need to hear it that way right now. Or maybe she does. Sometimes something might come off as too preachy. Or maybe that's exactly what she needed. I don't know. So you know her. And look and see what she needs now. Okay? Because this isn't midlife crisis. I can't tell you if counseling will help. She needs not the kind of counseling that is marriage counseling. Now, I know Wim referenced EFT, which I love. EFT is emotionally focused therapy. It was originally designed for affair recovery. But think about that emotionally focused. It is meant for couples to hold each other's emotions safely. It is meant to be a place where you hold emotions safe and you can learn about them, and you're meant to learn how to make them safe for holding each other's emotions within that therapeutic context, and then take them out of the therapeutic context and maintain that safety. That would be something where when you do move forward toward marriage counseling, maybe EFT would be a good modality for you to look into. For now, she needs to focus on the kind of therapy that would be for her inner healing. Whether you're a part of it or not, it is her healing. And then think about what you and your daughter need. Maybe you need individual things and things that are for the two of you together as well. And talk to your daughter. What does she want? Not just what does she need, what does she want? Ask her. Has she been asked? What do you want? And I love her name. I love her name. So I hope this helps. And for all the rest of you,